everybody, we're the Babes of Bourbon. I'm Megan Rudder.
And I'm Eric Rudder.
And today we are continuing with some port finish bourbons.
Yes.
Woo!
Woo, woo.
And what do we have today?
Today we have Isaac Bowman port finished bourbon. Port finished.
The straight bourbon
Yes.
whiskey finished in port barrels.
Yes.
Honestly, I have a bone to pick with whoever comes up with some of these names because they're just so long.
Yes.
Oh my
Impossible. Straight bourbon whiskey finished in port barrels.
It's so easy to accidentally say one of those words differently, but it's fine, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. I have been watching some other whiskey bourbon streamers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the streamers, Whiskey Tornado, recommended this bottle. So I'm going to give that a try tonight.
And we have Poppy Rudder joining us, apparently. She just woke up from her nap. We were hoping she would be asleep this whole time, but nay. She is awake and the starlet of the show. And the Isaac Bowman Pioneer Spirit is from the A. Smith Bowman Distillery in... Oh my gosh, I bet she's going to be back up here in a second, guys. Anyways, from A. Smith Bowman Distillery in Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I don't think we've tried a lot of bourbon from Virginia.
No, I don't think we've tried any yet.
Yeah,
I do think this is, based on everything I've read and saw, that this is a Buffalo Trace
that was
product.
a nice sound.
So, not like
mean,
product,
like
but the
Buffalo
mash
Trace?
bill is from Buffalo Trace. And I've
Like
heard it's rumored it's mash bill too.
Like they buy the product from Buffalo Trace and then go ahead and...
White Dog from Buffalo Trace, and then they age it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, we couldn't find that necessarily anywhere,
No.
written by A. Smith Bowman, but I 100% believe...
The internet.
Yeah, people don't like telling. It's kind of like if you go to Costco and all the Kirkland brand things, it's like, really, that's Starbucks, and really, that's Jim Beam, and really, that's... Yeah. You know how it goes. I'm excited to try this because the past two port finishes I've really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's still winter.
Yeah, right? Warm, cozy little port finish bourbon. Now, if you haven't seen the past two videos in January, for port finish bourbons, what they do is they still age it in their charred oak barrels. This one is a charred white oak. It says on the back, here's got a little history for you. And then they go ahead and finish it in the port barrels. And this one, they've said that the barrels are from Virginia also. Locally sourced, most of them from the Virginia wineries.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like that. I like seeing states use other local state products.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome. So right off the bat, the nose is pretty subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can smell the port right away. You get that scent of the wine.
Yeah. That's
Those
mainly what
tannins.
I'm getting is the port. Maybe a little oak through there.
Mm-hmm. To me, I'm a huge red wine drinker. It does smell pretty strongly of red wine to me, more so than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has a little bit of spice. It to me, it smells like you took a cab and you took a bourbon and you kind of mixed them together. That sounds disgusting, but it doesn't smell bad. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You can get hints of both. Now, if I only knew what was in a cab or a Merlot or something, that could lend to me being like, ooh, it is grapes. It is XYZ.
Well, grapes are
idea.
the Merlot.
I know. Shut up. Enough of this sass monger over here. I would say interesting nose. It's very unique, but I feel as though most of the port bourbons we've smelled have been unique. I think I need to take another sip before I say anything about the flavor. A lot of spice.
Yeah, there's spice. I get a little bit that port finish in there. I sort of taste what I smell, if that makes any sense.
It does make sense. I taste like some cinnamon. I don't know if that's the specific spice that's actually in here, but I definitely taste cinnamon. I get kind of that dry mouthfeel like when you're drinking red wine, which is pretty unique. I get some vanilla. I get like no caramel on this, which is so odd to me.
No, yeah, I'm really getting that port, that red wine port. I don't know what those flavors are.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm getting, and I am getting a little bit of that spicy. I don't know if it's cinnamon or something else.
The baking spices.
Yes.
It's our safe.
I don't think it's cinnamon, but baking spices. Yes.
You don't hate cinnamon?
Some baking spices, maybe like clove or.
You know what, guys? I'm going to be 100% honest with you because I have to be. You know, I can't sit here and pretend I like something when I don't. This one isn't for me. Nicely is what I am saying.
I don't know yet. I like this. I think it would.
I'm wondering if it opens up over time.
Yes.
Because there are definitely bourbons. It takes like a week or two. Honestly, not even saying it is like, oh, well, maybe it'll be good in a week. No, it really changes the flavor. So I'm wondering if that happens with this.
I am now actually getting quite a bit of a oaky finish on this.
Are you?
As I sit here more. And I don't know if I love it.
I see what you're saying. This one's not for me. I'm going to put that out there. It really is not for me. The reason why it isn't for me is because of the way that it, like, I don't enjoy the nose as much. I like a little bit more of a robust nose, which I don't feel like this one has. The flavor is really subtle on the actual, like, bourbon of it. And then there's a big punch from where it, like, the finish of the port really comes out. And for me, the finish itself is not a pleasant taste to me. I think I could say to me like 5 more times in that description.
Yep.
That's a joke, guys. I don't want to say it anymore.
So, are you ready to give the scores?
No, I feel mean. To avoid this, it's kind of hard to see, but we're going to post a picture on our Instagram. For Christmas, my mom got us this super cool, the Babes of Bourbon whiskey headboard that had a stamp of some bourbon glasses in it. So that's what's sitting behind us now. We always change that up. We'll have to get an actual picture of it soon. Up on Instagram. So go to the Babes of Bourbon there and take a peek at it.
Take a peek. So I'm sort of stealing this from Whiskey Tornado. I've commented on some of his videos.
Not stealing, borrowing.
He said this would go very well with a steak.
I could see that.
And I 100% agree with that. So whether if you like it or not, if you're eating a steak, this port really does come through on the bourbon. I almost think Isaac Bowman is the one that did the port finish, like the true port finish, the best. I really taste the port coming through.
I agree.
And on this,
I agree.
I don't know if I'm drinking bourbon, if I want so much of that port finish. The last 2, you could definitely get some of that influence, but the bourbon was still there. This one, that port is sort of...
It's like sharp in your mouth.
Overcoming the bourbon aspect.
That's an excellent description. And even if you didn't watch the last 2 videos, it doesn't matter. I always am like, if you watch the last videos, who cares, guys? That was so Wisconsin. Yeah. Man, I'm just getting distracted. This one is not sweet.
No.
We said in the last ones that they had that sweeter, fruity flavor. I would say this port is very different. There's none of that paired in here whatsoever.
This one is savory and...
Yeah. That's
bold.
An excellent description. Savory and bold.
Yes.
I would absolutely try this with a steak. because I think this could be something that pairs really well with food, like the streamer you watched said.
Steak, burger. I'll definitely be trying this next time I have some red meat.
And I would also be willing to try this in some kind of bourbon cocktail because I feel, because it doesn't have a lot of sweetness, and because it does have bold flavors, it really might be good in some sort of cocktail. And how much was this bottle?
It was $40. Just pouring a little more so I can give it a fair judgment here.
I agree. You got it. I think $40 is a very fair price. I have to say this too. Mash Bill 2 at Buffalo Trace is my least favorite of their mash bills. So that could be my own personal bias as well.
And what I would say about any of the mash bill 2s that we do have here personally, 2 Blantons, they have opened up as time has gone on. So this one very well could just need a little bit of time to open up and get some of those flavors. So, should we do the scoring?
We shall do the
Even if it scores low, we'll throw this in there. Next week, we're going to do a blind tasting of all 3. So that will give this a week to open up, and we'll be able to, maybe if it scores really well, we'll know that it just needs a little bit of time to open up.
And we've learned from our mistakes from our past blind taste tests. We are definitely going to be drinking water in between these ports, guys. It's like you sit down to make the video and then realize you don't have water. It's like, well. Okay, so for me, the nose, let me give it a fair sip. I will give this, and I'm going to keep track on my phone, guys, with my calculator. I'm going to give it a 0.75 out of 2 because it isn't a nose that pleases me, but I do think it has the punch of the port and different aspects that are unique to it.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give it a 1 though, but for similar reasons. I don't hate it. You definitely get the port coming through and pretty much just the port, so it's not like the most complex thing, but it is exactly what you would expect from a port finish. Yep.
Flavor. I am going to give this bad boy a 1 out of 3. And I am giving it a 1 out of 3 because it's really not my favorite. However, I can see, I can taste its complexities. It just doesn't appeal to my specific palate. What are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 1.5. I actually sort of enjoy it. I like that little bit of bold port finish. I think this is doing exactly what it's designed to do.
And you don't love the sweetness
of
bourbon sometimes.
I love sweet bourbon. I like dry wine though, so I feel like that's why I don't like sweet wines. So I feel like that's why I'm sort of okay with this one.
That makes sense. For the finish, out of 2, I am going to give it a 0.5.
I do think this falls a little short on the finish for me personally. I'm going to give it a 0.75.
Okay. So you are at a 3.25.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to do the math as we go, guys. It gets harder the more you drink the bourbon.
Yes.
And then for availability and pricing, I do think this is priced very appropriately. I think the shape of the bottle is nice. There's a really cool history on the back too. The Bowman family goes into Isaac Bowman, what this is named after. He was an American Revolutionary War hero that actually was a prisoner of war at one point, wound up escaping. And I like that. I think the packaging is decent. I think the bottle shape is nice. Is it available in Wisconsin?
It is not currently. I don't think. I think I've seen it at Total Wine a couple times, but not recently. And I have never seen it at another liquor store.
Okay.
But if you drive down south to the border, every store that I've gone into has had it. So I think it's available, just not here. I'm
going to give it a 1.5 then for us because it's easy enough to get it if you go like an hour and a half drive.
Yep. I'm going to give it. I think it is exactly priced correctly based off of everything that $40 to $45 range. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 3.
So you're at a 5.25.
Yes.
And I'm so sorry, Bowman family. I scored mine a 3.75 out of 10.
Yes. But that is okay.
It's an honest review.
Honest review, and it will have a chance for redemption next week.
Oh, yeah. I love the blind taste test because if there's anything that I've learned from them, sometimes I'm very surprised at the order of how mine comes out.
Yes.
From the ones we've done on the channel and the ones that Eric and I have just done by ourselves.
I think a 5.25 is definitely a fair score. As we said in the past, if it hits that 5 range, it's worth a buy or try at a bar. Mm-hmm. If you really like dry red wines and that's what you are into, mm-hmm. I could see you enjoying this one mm-hmm. quite a bit.
I think it's definitely worth a try for the price. Mm-hmm. And I think I've said this already on the video multiple times, but just because I don't like something doesn't mean that you won't like it. And with this price point, honestly, I think any bourbon at $40 is worth it at mm-hmm. least once at some point. Or like Eric said, at a bar, at a restaurant, grab a pour.
What I can say is this is a high quality product.
I do agree with that. It's not something that's cheaply made. I don't think they're putting a bunch of stuff into the packaging where you open the bottle and it's kind of like, well, I can see where my money went. It was the bottle. I don't feel that way about this. It just didn't appeal to my palate.
Yep.
But my freshman year of high school food teacher always told me, don't yuck somebody else's yum. And I think about that all the time. So
maybe that'll be on a t-shirt someday. Don't yuck somebody else's yum.
And then it'll have like a quote, Mrs. Sarimer, and then Megan Ruther. Mrs. Sarimer, if you ever see this, I remember what you said when I was 14. And it has stuck with me ever since. You make a difference. All those teachers out there. Any closing remarks?
No, I'm excited for next week.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I'm really excited to see where these all land up. Mm-hmm. I have my personal favorite.
I think I have my personal favorite.
But who knows?
Exactly. So we're doing the Angel's Envy.
Yes.
Obviously the port finish, guys.
The Woodinville.
Oh, that one was really good.
Obviously, again, port finish.
And then the Isaac Bowman. Guys, I just accidentally punched the table as I was putting my hand down, and it did hurt. And then obviously the Isaac Bowman Street Bourbon Whiskey finished in port barrels.
Woo!
Woo-hoo! Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're excited for next week as much as we are. If you've never had a port finished bourbon, maybe that'll help you decide which one to get. Mm-hmm. As always, like, subscribe, share, comment. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes. I don't think there's any. I think you got them all.
And just enjoy your day. I hope you liked seeing Poppy just jump her little self in our video.
Yeah. I am. That's my surprise of the video. I'm shocked she didn't cause more of a commotion.
She handled her she just off pretty well.
I won a few seconds of fame.
Yeah. She's a kitty cat cutie.
Yes.
All right. Have a wonderful night, you guys.
Yes. Thank you all. Bye.